Hey, it's Teapot. I am back at the Pale Oak Forest because I need resin. And of course, the only source for resin is going to be from creekings that actually have hearts. And of course, I don't have Silk Touch, so I don't have a way to get hearts. So what I'm going to do is try and clear out some of this forest until I'm able to get a heart. At least find a heart, and then work my way towards getting some resin and maybe setting up a resin farm back at my home base. So that's kind of the objective for today, which basically means that I'm going to be mining pale oak until I find a heart. Now, on my way over here, I did find an abandoned portal, and I found this axe with Fortune 3, which is going to be really nice because now I can get a higher chance of getting some of these saps that I need. Of course, I say a higher chance, and you can see there are literally none falling. And of course, this being a gold axe, this is going to have like 40 uses in it. So I don't want to waste it on actual wood. There it is, it's gone. So I was able to get a sapling. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to continue to work on these trees, and saplings will fall, night will fall, that creeper's going to make me fall. It's going to be just a grand old time. Well, let's see what we can do about this. Nice. Yeah, let's not get hit by the skeleton. Fill up on food. We'll go back over to where we saw the creaking. So it should be on that tree, which is across this ravine, which is probably why I was having such difficulty. Hey, it's a zombie. Hey, it's a flaming me. Hey, it's a creeper. Goodness, I really should be a little bit more careful around here, shouldn't I? All right, so what I should be able to do is go over to this tree. I'm going to go ahead and clear off the leaves on this tree. Ouch. So you can see all this nice resin that we now have for the first time. What's going to be important is to clear this off, clear out the whole area around here so that I can have a nice flat area to harvest these. How many do I have? I have 14. 16. All right, and there is the heart. That shuts down the heart, so I'm not going to have to worry about any creakings for a while. What I want to do is I want to make this too tall so that the creaking can't come in here. But I can lay shots at it. I'm going to put some wood around it. So I need to have wood below it. I'm going to need wood above it, but I also need wood orthogonal on all the sides. So that activates it. So now I should be able to add more wood here. And if I make a plus sign that's basically 2 away from each branch of the heart, that should give me an area where I can get enough resin if I get enough swings. Oh, there he is. We found him. Some nice hits. Should get some resin. Let's see if I... Yep, good. So he's close enough now. I want to make sure that I've got enough hits on there to make sure I've got enough resin so I don't have to do this one more night because I'm tired of being here. Creaking is now gone. So I'm going to see if I can go to sleep real quick, just to stop the rain. And now I'm going to take a look at our little tree and see what happened over the night. And you can see with all of our attacks, we got quite a bit of resin. So I'm going to go ahead and hit this off. You can see that I missed a couple of spots where I could have put some logs, but what's important is that we should have plenty of resin now. Here to this side to get the resin. Slurp, 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 slurp. Even some resin down there at the bottom. So basically it's 2 away from the heart of the tree using taxi cab measurements. So basically up and overs or downs. So now, once I get this last bit of resin, we have 56 resin. That is enough to make several hearts. So we can actually make a functioning farm at our own home now. So that's kind of the idea, what we were hoping for today. Oh, and there's some resin up here as well. All right, so now that we've got enough resin and we've got more than enough wood, I think we're ready to pack up and head on back home now that we've got the building blocks for our last block. All right, so now that we're at home, let's go ahead and talk about what we can do with this resin. We've got 62 of these resin clumps and we can create them into a block of resin. What's nice about a block of resin is that once I've actually created a block of resin, it can break back into the 9 clumps. Now the other thing that I can do is I can put some resin in the oven. So I'm going to go ahead and get 9 of them out again. And so I can take these 9 resin clumps, put them in my furnace, and what they'll do is start making some resin ingots, which I can make my resin bricks from. But I really want to save some of these resin clumps because what I can also do is I can take these resin blocks that I create and I can sandwich them between 2 pale oak logs to create creaking hearts. So I can actually create creaking hearts here at home, so I can create a creaking farm in some area in here. Hey, we got got a couple of little villagers come up to visit us. That's interesting. Yeah, I've started trying to breed the villagers a little more. We've had some issues with the pillagers coming through and having some issues with them. So we've got a couple of little villagers hanging around here. But we've got the resin bricks coming up here. So as soon as the resin bricks are done in the furnace, I can go ahead and take, and I'm just going to go ahead and throw the rest of these resin clumps in there because I don't want to waste that coal. But I can take the 8 that we've got here, as soon as the 9th one comes up, we can make a resin block. So now I can take that here, and we can see now that we've got 2x2s make resin bricks. So now that I have resin bricks, I can take the resin bricks and put them in here, and we can get the resin head brick slabs, we can use resin brick stairs, or resin brick walls. So at this point, we have everything that we need to take care of these bricks. So what I can do is I can take these 2 bricks here, I can put 1 on top, I can put 1 inside. And at this point, because we have the makings of a resin farm, I'm going to go ahead and say that these are no longer missing. So we've completed all of our blocks. Now, I have one caveat here. Obviously, we don't have the prismarine. And prismarine is dangerous to get at this point. All I have is leather armor. All I have is stone tools. I don't have a bucket to get milk. I don't have any type of water breathing or any other potions. Really, the only thing that I could do is make some doors. And that's really not enough to get those prismarine bricks. I'm not at the game state at this point to get the prismarine bricks and all the prismarine blocks that you can get from that. So I'm going to go ahead and say that this, what I've got, is complete for my current state. All right, so as I mentioned, I'm going to set up a creeking farm. What I'm going to do is I'm actually going to set up a pretty high up. So I'm actually going to take these trap doors and I'm going to use them as a base to put some ladders on. But I want to get up pretty high. Basically, I don't want any of the creakings to have a chance to spawn underground. So I'm actually on the far end of the abandoned village, and that's where I'm setting up this because I really don't want it in my personal skyline. This should be, yeah, let's not. So the idea here is that I'm going to put up basically 3 stacks of these trapdoors, and I can put ladders up on the other side, and so I'll have a nice area to climb up and down on. But this also gives us a good chance to see what the rest of the world looks like as I climb up. So you can see you've got some of those little pavilions down there at the bottom. You can just now start to see our huge farm. There's a very deep gouge of a cage off to the right. You can see there's lava pits over near our farm. But we're starting to get out of render distance for this. But I went ahead and made 3 stacks of these trapdoors. And of course, the way that I'm doing this, I'll be able to open the trapdoors one at a time to get down to the ground relatively safe. I do have my spawn set down at the bottom of this, so in case something accidental happens, I should be okay. All right, so that takes us all the way up to Y277. So now I just need to right click on all these doors. So now I've got this area of half slabs. So now I can go ahead and set up a little circle of half slabs around here. Now I have a safe way to get in and out of this. We're going to So it's 16 blocks away from the staircase. Now what I can do is I can go up here and just making sure, okay, so now that is a full slab. So if I put basically creakings in here, then I should be able to use the sweeping edge on my sword to attack them. And then what I need to do is make sure that they can't get out of this cage. So I'm going to that up here, and then so that was 3 that I did. I should be able to go completely around. Okay, so that is actually that is a full half slab. Let me get on here. So that's a full slab. That's a full slab. So I'm here. My head height's going to be right here. So if I basically put something at this level, the creakings can't get out of it. So what I'm actually going to do is knock this stuff out now that I've got this exactly where I want it, and that one I'm going to want there. And then I'm going to go ahead and set up a trapdoor here. Do I have a trapdoor? I don't have a trapdoor. I can go ahead and just set a half slab here. And then I can go ahead and put torches on this to make sure that no other mobs spawn up here at night. It's okay if creakings spawn up here. I just don't want anything else to spawn up here. And that takes us to there. So now I've got this all set up. Now what I need to do is I need to go over across this. And I'm going to need to set up an area for the creaking hearts. Where'd my axe go? All right, so I'm going to keep on going. I'm starting to run low on half slabs. Actually, I don't want it at that level. That's the level I don't want it at. There's that half slab gone. But I want it at this level. No, I didn't want two of them. There's two more half slabs gone. So I might actually have to craft some more half slabs while I'm up here. There we go. So now what I can do is I can create a layer of hearts, and I can create a layer of hearts, and I can also create a layer of oak, so that the hearts will be up at this level, but the only places that the creakings will be able to spawn is right there. I'm gonna take a look at this. We've got it kind of fenced off over there. Hopefully we're safely protected. And we're going to see if the creakings come into our little area. They should only spawn on this little platform here. That's the only place that's able to spawn at this height. There's nothing near enough for creakings to spawn. So we will see. And there we go. We've got some creaking spawning in here. We should have more creakings. That should be the plan here. It looks like it's only those far two that are actually spawning, but there's a third one spawning. So ideally, we should get to the point where we have 5 creaking spawning, and I should be able to hit all of them with my sweeping edge. All right, I lost audio on this, but as you can see, we've got quite a bit of resin forming up on these trees. We'll end up getting about 2.5 stacks of resin clumps, which we can break down either into resin blocks, which are nice Insta-break blocks when you can use for temporary scaffolding, or you can go ahead and use them to make the resin bricks, all the different types of resin bricks. So we've got a pretty nice collection. That's going to do it for our stone part of our age. We are going to be moving to the Iron Age in the next video. So once again, thank you for watching. Have a great day. I'll talk to you later.